Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi, and today I'm going to do another toy review. Now initially you may be thinking, why on earth am I going to do a toy review of some Papercraft blueprints? But when I saw these, they reminded me so much of the vintage Palitoy Death Star playset. I thought it was worth picking them up just to see if they were any good for displaying some vintage 3 3/4 inch figures. So this set is made by a company called Jazwares, which is not a company I've heard of before, but I guess they do generally do paper stuff, which is maybe why I haven't heard of them. And I picked this up off eBay for £10, and that included postage, and it really is a heavy box of stuff because it's all full of paper and card. And there's not a great deal of information on the front. It shows you the Emperor's Throne Room set, which is really what I wanted, and some other paper figures that are included in this set, and also a paper TIE fighter. But really the most important thing that I want to look at today is this paper sort of Death Star background. It says it's very easy to assemble, which is good, and if we look on the back, it doesn't really give you a lot of information, it just tells you what's inside. So you get one Darth Vader with lightsaber, 2 stormtroopers with rifles, Luke Skywalker with a lightsaber, Emperor with lightning bolts, Death Star, TIE fighter with base, and some stickers and an instruction manual. So let's get this opened and we'll see what the playset part of this looks like, and whether it does actually look like the old vintage Palitoy Death Star playset, which is what I'm hoping for. So let's take a look in the box. I just opened the flap on the side, and you can see inside is an awful lot of paper, and some very heavy bits of paper at that. Bits of cardboard. There's clearly a TIE fighter wing, and probably the most important bit is the instructions. So what we're going to do today is I'm not going to build these paper figures, because having looked at the outside of the box, I didn't think they looked that amazing. What we want to build is the playset part, so I'm hoping in these instructions somewhere, let's fold them out, they're a big set of instructions. There will be all the information we need for the playset. As you can see, it's this portion here. So let me find those pieces and we'll get that bit constructed. I've now sorted this pile of card out into 2 bits. The stuff on the right is all the bits that I'm not particularly interested in, which is the figures and the TIE fighter. And this bit here, which is made out of a much thicker card. You can see if I show you some of the bits of this, it's made out of a nice thick card. This is the playset, and I've also sorted out the instructions in the background, so I can now try and construct this playset. It does say it's simple, so I'm hoping it shouldn't take me more than a few minutes to put this together, but doing this on camera, as always, is a little bit awkward, so we'll see how we get on and see what bits we can do. So let's get started. And here is the finished set. I have to say it's not the easiest of things to construct. It looks like it should go together really easily, but none of the holes are quite line up perfectly, so everything's a little bit sort of forced in and a little bit sort of bent. And I have to say, I think I've already broken a few of the cardboard tabs on the bottom section of this. They just wouldn't go in the hole, and when you push them, the cardboard just tears. So as for quality, it's not amazing, but as for looks, I think this looks fantastic, and it really does fit the size and scale of the vintage 3 3/4 figures. So for a little diorama like this, it's really quite nice. It's just a shame that the quality of the cardboard and the sort of the paper isn't good enough. It just tends to rip as soon as you try and do anything with it. But I really like the look of it, and I think even for £10 it's still probably worth getting just to be able to set up some dioramas like this. I may take this one apart and try and reinforce some of the tabs, because a lot of the tabs are hidden on the inside or hidden away, so you would be able to reinforce them quite nicely just with some tape or something like that, and then it would last a lot better. I think if you ever tried to take this apart, you would just end up destroying it, and it's a sort of one go type of playset. Basically, you've got to put it apart and that's it. If you try and take it apart, it will break, but it does look very nice. You know, I've only just put a few figures on here just to make a little bit of a diorama scene for this video, and already I'm thinking, yeah, this is quite good. I might try and keep this and make a bit more of a display out of it. There's a lot of detail in the background, a lot of sort of details gone into the sort of Photoshop and imaging work on it. I like the fact it does have a window there which is made out of a bit of clear perspex, and there's a little hole and a sort of exit port on the right here, and the outside of it does look like a Death Star. Let me turn it around and I'll show you what that looks like. So here's a shot of the outside. You can see they've put panelling and details on it, so it does look a bit like the Death Star. Obviously you can see through the window and see the Emperor still inside there, and then of course there's this sort of exit port here, so you can sort of put your hand in and get to the figures, and that is quite a nice feature of it, the fact that it is a double-sided playset. They've not just put details on the inside, there's a lot of details on the outside. It seems to me a little bit like that Jazwares missed a trick when selling this playset. If they'd actually advertised it as something that you could play with your 3 3/4 inch figures on it, they would have probably sold an awful lot more of them, because there's people like me who would have bought them just to do dioramas. The fact it's taken me a couple of years to find this set, and it was only because Gary from Geek Force mentioned it to me that I went and had a look at it. This was released around the time of The Force Awakens, so it's been out for a few years, and I'm not sure how long you'll be able to still get it. You know, they are available on eBay, as I say. This cost me £10. And there are other people selling them for a lot more money, so if you want one, grab it now, because it certainly doesn't look too bad. Its longevity, as I say, I'm a little bit uncertain whether this will actually last. I am going to try and take this apart to put this back in the box, because I don't have enough space to sort of store it made up at the moment, so I'll see how I get on with that. But as you can see, it is quite a nice playset and certainly worth getting, and it might be even worth someone taking this and scanning in all of the images and making it out of wood, because that certainly would make it a sturdier thing, and maybe even I will do that at some point, make a version out of some hardboard, because it's quite a nice display thing. They've done an awful lot of work. It's just a shame the quality of the cardboard used, especially on the bottom sections and these bits here, nothing quite fits together. You can see here it's a little bit sort of bent and bowed because the tabs just won't go in the slots properly. So it's a little bit let down by the quality of the materials used, but as far as looks goes, it is really nice. So I hope my review of this sort of toy slash playset slash papercraft set has been interesting to you, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos.